We are fighting the infection, yet additionally paranoid ideas, a representative for the Wuhan Institute of Virology has said. Paranoid notions sit idle yet make dread bits of gossip and preference. He was attempting to squash a thought that has been developing in prevalence since the time the 2019 nCoV coronavirus flare-up started, that his virology lab, at the core of Wuhan, may be responsible. In a way, he was correct. In a period of emergency, the exact opposite thing anybody would need to do is spread dread, particularly if it depends on only an unmerited rumor. But when you begin investigating those cases that the plague that is now tainted very nearly 1 million individuals over the world began in a Wuhan virology lab, it begins looking like some different option from a paranoid fear. It begins resembling a clarification that holds up unnervingly well, and that, on the off chance that we set aside the effort to investigate it, could help keep something comparative from happening once more. Reason number 5. The outbreak started across the street from a virology lab. The official story is that 2019 nCoV began in a fish advertise in Wuhan. Unclean creatures sold there were conveying the infection. Chinese researchers have recommended, and, accordingly, some unfortunate customers wound up getting persistent zeros for a worldwide crisis. You've most likely previously heard that clarification previously, and there's a decent possibility you've acknowledged it as a reality, yet there are some glaring issues with it, for a certain something. The primary patients with 2019 nCoV have no association with the market at all. They lived close by, and they seem to have spread the malady to individuals who went there. However, the genuine patient zeros never really ventured foot within it. Additionally, 2019 nCoV is accepted to have started in bats, and this was a fish advertise. No one was selling bats within this market. Bats simply aren't something individuals in Wuhan regularly eat. Many individuals have highlighted the Wuhan Institute of Virology, which is only a 30-minute drive for the fish showcase. In any case, if that is too far off for you, another lab looks into bat coronaviruses that is much nearer, the Wuhan Center for Disease Control and Prevention. It's not simply on the opposite part of town. It's on the opposite side of the road. Reason number 4. The Wuhan Virology Lab was studying bat coronaviruses. The Wuhan Center for Disease Control and Prevention isn't only a managerial office. Researchers were inside that building, effectively directing examination, remembering reads for coronaviruses in bats. A ton of analysts in Wuhan were. It had been a significant venture for the city, and the Wuhan Institute of Virology invested wholeheartedly in. They were at the bleeding edge in exploring the reasons for SARS. And it was their specialists who had demonstrated that the last SARS episode started in bats. They needed to take a gander at a terrible parcel of wiped-out bats to do it. However, analysts had been gathering bats contaminated with the coronavirus since in any event 2012. And they were concentrating on ones that could spread their ailment to human beings. 8. There were many bats in Wuhan's labs when the 2019 nCoV episode began. And the specialists there were learning in any event 11 new strains of SARS-related infections in him. What's more, yes, they were doing it over the road from where the flare-up began. Reason number 3. An infected bat bled on a researcher shortly before the outbreak. Alright, sir, an illness lab was investigating maladies. What of it? That doesn't demonstrate that it at any point got out, right? While it's exceptionally impossible that the Wuhan Institute of Virology intentionally tormented its own kin, it truly wouldn't have been that difficult for someone to get it by accident. Imagine if a bat assaulted a specialist and, in the bedlam, violated its well-being onto his uncovered skin. Or then again, suppose he got a piece excessively close and got bat pee on his body. Or on the other hand, envision both of those things happen to a similar individual not some time before the 2019 nCoV flare-up began. That's actually what occurred. As per a report by Chinese analysts Botao and Lei Xiao, a specialist named Zhenhua Qian portrayed these accurate encounters in a meeting with the Changjiang Times. Zhenhua Qian claims he isolated himself to shield from spreading these ailments. However, regardless of whether he and his associates utilized each conceivable safeguard, it's conceivable that the infection, despite everything, could have spilled out. One thing we've learned since the flare-up is that individuals can show no side effects at all and still be contaminated. What's more, as indicated by an ongoing report out of Japan, individuals who have recouped can in any case convey the infection. Reason number 2. The Wuhan Virology lab was testing a virus that matches 2019 nCoV. In the event that there was any uncertainty, the Wuhan Institute of Virology unquestionably had postgraduate understudies on staff. We can affirm that in light of the fact that, on November 18, 2019, in a matter of seconds before the breakout, the establishment set up a vocation posting requesting postgraduate understudies to help study the coronavirus in people and bats. That's not actually strange, yet the portrayal in the activity posting is a bit of upsetting. It says that they were especially intrigued by atomic systems that let coronavirus lie lethargic for quite a while without symptoms. Sound natural. That is one of the distinctive characteristics of 2019 nCoV, the way that individuals can go around with no clear side effects and still spread it. 322 of the individuals on the Diamond Princess journey transport tried constructive without manifestations, and there's confirmation that those asymptomatic individuals can spread the ailment. Truth be told, one lady is affirmed to have spread it, at any rate 5 individuals, without demonstrating any side effects of her own. Reason number 1. 2019 nCoV has eerie similarities to HIV. As per a dubious report out of India, a few parts of 2019 nCoV have uncanny similitudes to HIV. To be completely honest, this present examination's gotten a reasonable level of investigation. A few researchers have addressed whether it utilized enough information to be factually noteworthy, and they've obliterated it enough that now the investigation's creators have pulled back their work. Yet, while their work may be problematic, that doesn't really make it wrong, and there's a tad of proof to back it up. HIV drugs are ending up being astoundingly powerful in treating the medication, and most patients are indicating low white platelet tallies, something that doesn't occur with some other type of coronavirus. That is unpleasant, in light of the fact that scientists in the Wuhan Institute of Virology have dealt with or led considers joining SARS-CoV and an HIV pseudovirus in bats and people. There's no hard verification that the 2019 nCoV is a man-made infection, yet on the off chance that researchers ever discover confirmation that it is, there's a great deal of motivation to be stressed.